Hello students, this is Ram Krishna Shukla and today I am going to teach you all. I am a chemistry teacher. I am going to teach you all new topic colligative property. Colligative properties I am going to teach you all, okay? Properties of solution. What is colligative property in solution? Okay, this is one of the new topic that I am going to explain you all. Okay, what is colligative property? Properties of solution which depend on number of particles of solute, okay, do not on nature of solute, is known as colligative property. So write down everybody's definition. Properties of solution which depend on number of solute particles do not on nature of solute is known as colligative property. Okay, so dear children, there is a relation. Colligative property, it is denoted by Cp, is directly proportional to number of particles of solute, okay, and it is inversely proportional to molar mass of solute. Okay, it is directly proportional to number of particles of solute and inversely proportional to molar mass of solute. Okay, why it is inversely proportional? Okay, because molar mass, dear children, listen everyone. Okay, because yes, later on I will explain how it is inversely proportional in want of factor, but little bit as an introduction I am telling you. Okay, colligative property, because after dissociation, suppose you have taken NaCl. So what happened in NaCl? After dissociation, it gives out Na plus ion and Cl minus ion. So number of particles you have added, you have dissociated one particle, but you have got after dissociation two particles. So number of particles increases. So we can say that in terms of colligative property, in case of NaCl, it is increases. Why? Because after dissociation we are getting two particles. Okay, but in terms of molar mass, okay, you have added one NaCl, but now it is it is dissociated into Na plus and Cl minus. So we can say that yes, molar mass as respect to full of NaCl, now it is divided. Okay, yes, because of that, colligative property is inversely proportional to molar mass, because molar mass decreases and number of particles increases. Yes, number of particles increases and molar mass decreases. So moving ahead, there are four types of colligative properties, dear children. There are four types of colligative property. Four types of colligative property. Write down everyone. Number one, relative lowering in vapor pressure. Okay, in shortly we say RLVP. Second property, elevation in boiling point. Okay, third property is depression in freezing point. Okay, And fourth property is osmotic pressure. Okay, fourth property is osmotic pressure. These four properties, okay, these four are colligative property. Yes, again this RLVP, relative lowering in vapor pressure, elevation in boiling point, depression in freezing point, osmotic pressure. Okay, so what is colligative property, dear children? Hope everyone is very clear. Colligative property, it is yes, properties of solution which depend on number of particles of solute, do not on nature. It means it does not depend on nature. Yes, just I will tell. It means directly we can say number of particles. If number of solute particles increases, Cp will be high, and definitely it will be inversely proportional to molar mass. Why it is inversely proportional to molar mass? Because after dissociation, what happened? Molar mass, we have added one particle, but after dissociation it is divided into two simpler particles. So yes, because of that, suppose if I talk about any one of the particle which is having molar mass 100, and after dissociation it becomes 50 and 50, so particles increases, but molar mass as respect to 1, it was 100, now one particle it is having 50. Earlier it was one particle before dissociation, it was having 100 molar mass, okay, and now after dissociation one particle is having 50 molar mass. So colligative property, dear children, yes, colligative property is inversely proportional to molar mass and directly proportional to number of particles of solute, and it will be more clear in want Hoff factor. Okay, now just I'm going to start relative lowering in vapor pressure, first one. Okay, so please hope everyone has noted down. Going to start relative lowering in vapor pressure first. There will be a small derivation also, dear children. Write down everyone, RLVP. Okay, relative lowering in vapor pressure. What is relative lowering in vapor pressure? Okay, so first of all we have to know what is lowering in vapor pressure. One of the question, dear children, whose vapor pressure is high? Everyone is knowing vapor pressure of pure solvent is high. As I taught in my previous lecture, vapor pressure of pure solvent is always high compared to vapor pressure of solution. Why? Because in solution, when some of the non-volatile solutes, when some of the non-volatile solutes are added, then what happens? They occupy surface area of solvent. So because of that, less number of solvent molecules are available for vaporization. Okay. So I'm talking about relative lowering in vapor pressure. So first of all, we have to know what is lowering in vapor pressure. So we need to you all are required to write down definition. Decrease in vapor pressure of solvent. Decrease in vapor pressure of solvent. Okay, decrease in vapor pressure, beta, listen, because after addition of solute it becomes solution. Okay, so decrease in vapor pressure of solution on addition of non volatile solutes into solvent is known as lowering in vapor pressure. Okay, this is all about definition, dear children, of lowering in vapor pressure. Okay, what is lowering in vapor pressure? Decrease in vapor pressure of solution on addition of non-volatile solutes into solvent is known as lowering in vapor pressure. Okay, exactly. Suppose, yes, when you boil water, so its vapor pressure is high, but in case of solution, when you add some of non-volatile solute like sugar, so what happened, dear children? After addition of sugar, its vapor pressure decreases. Why its vapor pressure decreases? Again, because they occupy some of the surface area of solvent. Okay. So decrease in vapor pressure of solution on addition of non-volatile solutes in solvent into solvent is known as lowering in vapor pressure. Now what is relative lowering in vapor pressure? Okay. What is RLVP? Now ratio of lowering in vapor pressure and vapor pressure of pure solvent is known as RLVP. Okay, is known as RLVP. Please write down, everyone. What I'm trying to say, dear children, what is RLVP? Ratio of lowering in vapor pressure and vapor pressure of pure solvent. Okay, ratio of them, it is known as RLVP, relative lowering in vapor pressure. Okay, so please write down, everyone. Hope you all have noted down. Just moving ahead. Now there will be a little derivation also. There will be a small derivation for RLVP. Okay, let vapor pressure of pure solvent is equals to P naught. Okay, vapor pressure of solution is equals to PS. Okay, so lowering in vapor pressure is equals to P naught minus PS. Yes or no? How it is, beta? Obviously, for difference, beta, maximum minus minimum, we know very well how much lowering is coming out. Okay, how? So we know very well vapor pressure of pure solvent is high and vapor pressure of solution is low. So beta, just to take out differentiate, we need to subtract it. Okay, so vapor pressure of pure solvent will be subtracted by vapor pressure of solution, then only we will get how much lowering is coming out. Okay, so we can say, beta, this is lowering in vapor pressure. So yes, so RLVP is equals to relative lowering in vapor pressure. It was a ratio of lowering in vapor pressure means P naught minus PS upon vapor pressure of pure solvent means P naught. So this is all about your RLVP, dear children. Okay, so please note it down. This is all about your RLVP. So take a quick revision, dear children. What is relative lowering in vapor pressure? Decrease in vapor pressure of solution when some of non-volatile solutes are added into solvent is known as lowering in vapor pressure. Okay, ratio of lowering in vapor pressure and vapor pressure of pure solvent is known as relative lowering in vapor pressure. Okay, we have gone like this. Vapor pressure of pure solvent is P naught. Let it. Already I have explained it. Okay, in previous lecture. There was in terms of vapor pressure. Okay, and then after that vapor pressure of solution is this one. Lowering in vapor pressure is equals to P naught minus PS, and relative lowering in vapor pressure is equals to P naught minus PS upon P naught. Okay, so moving ahead for derivation. Okay, a very simple derivation. Very simple. According to Raoult's law for non-volatile solution. Okay, according to Raoult's law for non-volatile solution. Okay, WKT means we know that. What we know that, dear children? Okay, hope everyone is knowing. PS is equals to P naught xi solvent. Okay, we know this derivation. Yes, it was in Raoult's law, dear children. Okay, So what I'm trying to say after this, PS is equals to P naught xi solvent. Okay. So after taking P naught to the left side, what happened? PS upon P naught is equals to xi solvent. Okay. Since yes or no? Yes, when P naught, just I'm taking P naught towards LHS left hand side, so it becomes PS upon P naught is equals to xi solvent. Since xi solvent plus xi solute is equals to 1, because already I have explained in mole fraction, sum of mole fraction of each component is always equals to 1. Okay, so xi solvent is equals to 1 minus xi solute. Okay, xi solvent is equals to 1 minus xi solute. So after putting, let equation number 1, after putting from equation first, we get what happened beta after putting this one. So PS upon P naught is equals to 1 minus xi solute. Okay, 1 minus xi solute in this way. After that, what happened? After that, yes, when again the same thing I'm going to do, when we take 1 towards left hand side, what happened? 1 minus PS upon P naught is equals to xi solute, or P naught minus PS upon P naught is equals to xi solute. Okay, after taking LHS, it becomes, yes or no dear children, P naught PS upon P naught is equals to xi solute. Okay, so this is all about your xi solute. Okay dear children, so from this we have to write, yes, from this we have to write what is, which things is very clear beta. Now listen everyone, this is RLVP, yes or no? This is RLVP. So relative lowering in vapor pressure of any solution is always equals to mole fraction of solute. You have to write in your copy. Okay, I'm again telling, at constant temperature, relative lowering in vapor pressure of any solution is always equals to mole fraction of solute. Yes, mole fraction of solute. So thank you very much. This is all about your relative lowering in vapor pressure. Okay, so just we'll meet you in the next video. Thank you. Please note it down.